Get ready for a Dollar Tree farmhouse DIY that's easily customizable for Christmas or any time of year. Plus, as always, DIY treats. Welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. Hi guys, it's Aneka and welcome to my channel, Craft, Eat, Repeat. So today's video theme is a little controversial in my house anyway, because I am a firm believer that as soon as July 1st hits, I can listen to Christmas music, I can be holly jolly whenever I want to, and my husband just feels like it is not okay until like maybe November. But I've been watching cheesy Hallmark Christmas movies this weekend and I just felt like crafting something Christmassy, so that's what I'm gonna do. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button. Everyone, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when my next video comes out. And when the video is over, head down to the comments and say hello, Merry Christmas if you feel like it. Do you feel like it's too early? What's your favorite Christmas movie? Whatever you want to tell me down in the comments. I need some support from my fellow early Christmas lovers out there. Okay guys, it's time to craft. So I'm still really trying to craft my stash, and I saw that I had these picture frames that I picked up at Dollar Tree a while ago. Now they always have these shadow boxes there in one form or another, so if you can't find these exact ones, you can find something pretty similar and you can do the exact same thing with them. These were about 5 to 5.5 inches across, but any size would do. I'm going to start by taking the hardware off of the back, and once we're done you can put that back on if you want to use that to hang it on the wall. As you'll see, I'm just using mine as shelf decor, but you could hang them if you want. Next, I'm going to remove the picture from the inside, and I'm going to take these little plaques off, and I'm going to save them for later because I think those would look really cute in another DIY. Next, I'm going to paint my frames. Now, originally I thought I would do my faux wood technique where I paint it white and then I use the antique Waverly wax to make it look like wood, and that's why I painted it white at first. But as you'll see later, I kind of changed my mind and decided that black would be a better option. I have some decor that I completely forgot about that I got at Kirkland's last year after Christmas, and I got it on clearance and it has a lot of black in it. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these black to match that decor for this Christmas's theme. Next, I'm gonna grab this red glittery paper that is perfect for a Christmassy craft, but if you wanted to make this more of just your everyday decor, you could use like maybe a buffalo check pattern paper, or I thought even burlap would look really nice. And instead of joy, which is what I'm going to spell out, you could spell out home or kitchen or anything like that. The same process would work and it will look really adorable no matter what pattern you choose to put on the bottom. But I'm going to grab the back of my picture frames that I popped out, trace them onto the paper, and then I'm going to cut those out and put them off to the side because we will use those again in a little bit. Next, I'm going to grab one of the foam project boards that I got from Dollar Tree, and as you can see on these frames, they're a little bit indented, and it was really difficult for me to figure out a way to trace that exact size onto my foam board. So I just traced the inner edge as best I could, and then I just decided to go ahead and trim that down. Now, if you're using the exact same frame as me, once I trimmed it down, it ended up being almost exactly 5 inches. So you can just measure out a 5-inch square and that will give you the right dimensions. If you're using a different frame, you'll need to just measure it out and cut it down as I did. Next, I'm going to get an X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut this out of my foam board. Now you want to make sure you have a really nice sharp blade, especially when we do the letters, because you're going to be able to see the edge and you don't want the edges to look jagged because you'll really be able to see that in the final craft. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out my squares and then trim them down until they're exactly the size I need them to be to fit into my frames. Next, I used the word processor on my computer and I just chose a font that I liked and also that had a fair amount of straight lines that I thought would be easy to cut out with an X-Acto knife. And I spelled out the word joy. Now, if you're doing a Christmas theme, you could also do Noel or peace, whatever vibe you're feeling this Christmas. And like I said before, if you're not doing holiday decor, you could do home, kitchen, or I just had a thought that if you did fall and you spelled out fall and you used the burlap, that would be really pretty too with some pumpkins around it. I'm just going to take my little squares that I cut out of the foam project board and I'm going to tape my letters right into the middle of the board. And then once again, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife, and I really needed to use a ruler because my hands are not all that steady. And this is the part that you really want to look pretty straight as you cut, because we're actually going to cut the letter out and then discard the letter and we'll have our square with the letter cut out of it. So we want our edges to look pretty nice when we do this. After I did the first letter, I just used it as a guide to line up all the rest of my letters so that they would be relatively the same position in my project board square, and then I taped them on and cut them out with an X-Acto knife. Now when you're doing your O, don't forget to hold on to that little circle from the middle because we're going to need that to make it look like an O in our final project. So once all my letters were cut out, I was ready to put everything together. So I got the backs of my frames that I popped out in the beginning and I glued my glitter paper right on top. Next, I took my letters and I placed them into my frames. And once those were in, I went ahead and put the back onto the picture frame. Now, if your white project board is a little bit too small, you can always use a little dab of hot glue to glue it onto the back, and that'll keep it in place. You can also use a little dab of hot glue for the middle of your O. Once I had all my letters assembled, I just used a little bit of Christmas greenery and some Christmas picks that I got from Dollar Tree last year. You guys, I always go overboard at Dollar Tree at Christmas, so I actually have a drawer full of holiday picks from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to use those to decorate all of my letter frames. And, you know, it wouldn't be a craft, eat, repeat craft if I didn't pull out the twine at some point. And I just used it to tie on a little bell and to put a little bow as a nice accent to my picture frames. And that's it. I love how easy and customizable this DIY is. I love how it could be used for any time of year and any type of decor, and it actually looks perfect with this farmhouse lantern that I made. I couldn't wait to pull it out for Christmas, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I'll leave a link to the video where I made that lantern down in the description box below. Okay guys, I love how easy that craft was to come together, and I like that I can actually switch out the greenery and everything, and it can just like take me all the way through winter. So I really hope you enjoyed it too. So today's treat was also semi-controversial in my house. Basically over what it's called. So the recipe that I found was actually called snowman poop, which my kids were adamant that I stick with. I think that I'm gonna be calling it snowman food from here on out. But as of today, my kids have won the argument, at least this time. So here's how I made my snowman poop. Okay guys, it's time to eat. If you're looking for a holiday recipe that's quick to come together, is totally munchable, and can feed a crowd, this is it. So I'm using these candy melts, but you could also use white chocolate if that's what you have. I melted the candy melts per the instructions on the back of the bag, and then I'm adding them to these Cocoa Puffs or any other type of chocolate puff cereal that you have. Now the recipe called for Cheerios, but one, I didn't have any, and two, I thought that this mixed with the chocolate cereal would be delicious, and I was right. Once you have your melted chocolate, you're just going to mix it all together until it's completely coated, and then you're going to use a box of Funfetti cake mix. And I didn't end up using the whole box because I was just making a little bit. I'm trying not to make full portions because then it's just me and my kids eating treats all day long. But I used about half of the bag, and that was enough for me. I sprinkled it on little by little and mixed as I went, and it stuck to the chocolate, and it made these cute little balls. Now, if you need to, you can lay it out on some parchment paper to cool, and when you're done, you have this adorable and super delicious snowman poop. This is perfect to take to a party, to give to a teacher, or really you can just put them in gifts just like you would Christmas cookies. We loved it. I hope you enjoyed this craft that I had for you today and this little bit of Christmas joy in the middle of July. I've got more holiday Hallmark movies to watch, so there might be more Christmas in July crafts to come. Don't forget to leave me a comment down in the comment section, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with your friends. And I'll see you next time when we repeat it all again.